Good morning. This is Jonathan Shetke, and it's time for a weekly rant. It is Saturday, the 27th of June, 2020. I've turned 54 years old and have had 5 years of marriage to my lovely wife. It's been a pleasant week. Um, Father's Day went well. My son is growing and learning, and it's wonderful to see. So there's been some stupidity. The latest is the attempt to portray uh, the Trump rallies as causing disease and you know, they're trying to do two things at once. The Trump rallies are causing disease, and um, oh, we killed the Trump rallies. Nobody wants to see Trump. Okay, well, nobody wants to see him. Why did you bother to do a psyop on him and troll him? Um, and you know, scare everybody from going to his rallies. Why did you have violent protesters, you know, lined up ready to go? Well, obviously, you're afraid that people want to see him. Um, the Black Lives Matter movement has gone worldwide, even in places where it is 99.9% white, like Scotland. They thought that it was important to talk about Black Lives Matter in their parliament for an entire day with a debate with nobody representing the opposite side. Um, it's hilarious. You don't call it a debate, you call it a symposium if you aren't providing uh, an opposing view. Now, um, Houston claims that they're running out of intensive care beds because of new COVID cases. Bullshit. Um, there are two counties that make up that Houston is part of. One of them has 14 cases of COVID in hospital. 14. The other county doesn't report, but it has 700 cases. And the intensive care rate is not that high. There's no way that they're overrunning a 2,000 bed, uh, you know, a thousands of bed hospital system with a couple hundred cases. It's just no. um, the CDC also came out with a paper saying they don't recommend hydroxychloroquine, and it's obviously based upon the retracted papers that saw no benefit to hydroxychloroquine in treatment, and it's more infighting in the government than anything else. At this point, if you do not allow doctors to treat with hydroxychloroquine, you are murdering people. It's that simple. We've had a lot of governmental murder. Um, the autonomous zone is falling apart, but sort of not falling apart. The government of Seattle is meanly is wishy washy about actually carrying through and dismantling it. and taking away all the crap and telling people that that the cops are going to work there, and if you try to stop them, you will be taken care of. There's a lot of uh, soft pedaling on this stuff because the um, governments are using the excuse of the optics would be bad. The vast majority of people seeing a riot not being contained, not being um, dispersed by police force, call that bad optics. Your governments, if they let these riots go, need to be removed. And they are usually there, if they're letting the riots go, by fraud, right in the opposing candidate. In handwriting, not in print, in cursive. The reason is machine learning has real trouble with cursive. Real trouble. But a human can read it quite easily. And your ballot needs to be counted by hand by people, or it can be stolen. If you are going to have any trust in the system of representative government, personally, haven't seen that it does much good. Write in cursive every candidate that you care about. Every candidate. There is no trust to be had in machines. They can be hacked in 5 minutes. 5 minutes alone with the machine. There is no trust in, it doesn't matter how that machine is counted. All the counting machines can be hacked. We saw starting in 2012 quite clearly a shifting as votes came in for one candidate, they would get shifted to another linearly. You must remove the corrupt politicians. You must remove the ones who are bought. This Black Lives Matter thing is AstroTurf. How do you tell AstroTurf from a real movement? If they bus in people, it's AstroTurf. Real people drive in in their private transportation. If they have a lot of pre-printed signs, the majority, it's AstroTurf. Real people make their own signs as more, and then they go and print them out. Maybe 10% professionally done banners and signs would be reasonable for a grassroots thing. If they chant in cadence, and those chants are pre-planned, it's AstroTurf. Somebody planned that out. If they're doing exactly the same chants as some other place, on the same day. It's AstroTurf. If there's flash mobs involved, if you see a news crew and they've got a massive crowd around them, a thick crowd around them, but the rest of the area is empty, it's AstroTurf. They got that crowd. Um, we saw that at Charlotte back in 2016. The crowd where that guy ran over people, drove into the crowd, was just at that corner. Not even that block, just that corner. And the people, you can see in the videos, the people were swarming to that corner. They've been ordered there. They've been told to go there. It's AstroTurf. The methods for putting it together are quite easy. But Antifa has been called a terrorist organization. If you don't think that those apps for making the Antifa flash mobs are tracked 100% by the government, you don't know our government, the United States government. You don't know the worldwide Five Eyes network. We live in the age of Big Brother. Every single online interaction is monitored. Everything they think might be important is kept. If you use certain keywords, it's kept. It doesn't matter how long ago. If you are part of a group that is being investigated, it's kept. It doesn't matter how long ago. They will find it. They have petabytes of storage at their that can call, and they are willing to spend hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars, for making sure they can get to it. Big data is how government is trying to control you and me. So the propaganda is about COVID and Black Lives Matter and social justice. Social justice is equal treatment under the law. We are seeing that equal treatment is not the norm. Mr. Flynn has been exonerated. He's the DOJ said had to release things that showed that he was set up, that he didn't lie, that he didn't even miscommunicate. He said, "I don't remember." And they pilloried him for it because it was a way to make Trump look bad. The kangaroo court is now shown to be a kangaroo court and has been ordered by the appeals court to drop the case, and he he stayed the execution of that order. And I'm sure Flynn's going to go right back to the appeals court, and they're going to say, no, you don't get to stay this order. We told you to do it, and now we're going to relieve you of your job on this. This case is over, and you can look for that next week. All in all, it's chaos, and it's being fed by the Democrats scared to death of losing what control they have left at this point. They had a lot of very corrupt things going on during the Obama administration. It was one of the most corrupt administrations we have seen ever in the United States. And this is, this is going back to people like Andrew Johnson and FDR corruption levels. This is insane. Topping Nixon by orders of magnitude. The facts are coming out. We have, as Eisenhower warned, a military-industrial complex which owns the Congress. We have deep-seated communist, Marxist agitators in Congress, in the Senate. And they are showing their true colors. Again, if you do not want to see this continue, write in your candidate, no matter where you live, in cursive, and we'll see what happens. Share this. Share the rest of the videos. Go back, look at them if you haven't watched them all. Like, share, subscribe, and write in Shatke 2020, because this is the only way you are going to get free. Peace and joy.